Welcome to the Hi-O YouTube channel. Get ready for an exciting journey. If you enjoy this, please like, comment, and subscribe. The Steward Demonic Emperor Chapter 5, Obnoxious Servant. Perking up into a grin, Zhuo Fan picked up on her intent. The young miss had to be thinking he was insane, yet she still did not want him to die. As they were speaking, she was looking for a chance to hide him behind the guards. What are you waiting for? Get him over here before he humiliates us further, Luo Yunchang shouted at the guards. Before anyone even moved, a bloody blade rested on Zhuo Fan's neck. Wait. Steward Sun snickered, his eyes piercing through Luo Yunchang's as he had figured out her plan. He, young miss is as kind as ever, wanting to save even a mentally unstable servant. Luo Yunchang raged, Steward Sun. You won't let even the demented live? Ha ha ha, right back at you. If you don't want the innocent to die, take out the returning dragon palm. We don't care if our blades get slick with the blood of one more man. With that, the bandit brushed the edge along Zhuo Fan's face and sported a bloodthirsty grin. Luo Yunchang pursed her lips, hesitation visible in her eyes, yet still decided to close them. Zhuo Fan understood. Although the young miss had no plan to save him by taking the martial art out as his mistress, it filled him with gratitude just from hesitating. But in the end, it would come down to him if he could save himself. Taking a look back at the bandit, he found a fat man of the same height who was its 7th layer of foundation establishment. It should be doable. Zhuo Fan clenched his fists and gathered Yuan Qi in his left, eyes flashing with ruthlessness. Humph, since you're so stubborn, Zhuo Fan will be the first to die because of you. Steward Sun's hand dropped, staring at Luo Yunchang's pain-filled eyes. Fatty, kill him. Fatty grinned and raised the blade way up high. It was then that a thump echoed out, soon followed by bone, snapping along with the fat man's wails. His blade had long ago slipped from his hand. Zhuo Fan picked it up and decapitated the man. Blood spurted and a large head sailed in the air. Zhuo Fan was only in the 5th layer of foundation establishment, yet his Yuan Qi was something only a Qi condensation expert would possess. In a moment of the fat man's ignorance, he elbowed his chest and snapped his ribcage. He followed with a swing of the sword in one smooth motion. None could even react as the fat man's head flew from his shoulders. Plop! The bloody head rolled around and stopped right before Steward Sun. He looked dumbly at the familiar face, incredulous of the outcome. He saw Zhuo Fan grow up in the Luo clan and knew the kind of person he was. He was honest to a fault, a slave begging to be picked on. Yet this sheep bared its fangs like a tiger, killing a 7th layer foundation establishment expert in one strike. It was done with such brutality that it even shook the bandits. The guards on Luo clan's side were even more devastated. Was he the same man they used to laugh with, the same honest two-god Zhuo Fan? Leaving the kill aside, his quick and brutal act was something not even the captain of the guards could match. Every single one of them stood in shock, watching dumbly as blood dripped down Zhuo Fan's blade to the point they forgot even to breathe. If Zhuo Fan didn't take this chance to leave, he'd never get another. Zhuo Fan's eyes squinted, pressed his advantage and threw the bloody saber at Steward Sun, all the while running for the young miss and young master. By the time the saber arrived, he was already before Luo Yunchang. One hand held Luo Yunhai while the other grabbed the young miss, running like hell deeper into the forest. Luo Yunchang was still in a daze, letting him pull her. Steward Sun saw the target slipping away again and panicked after them. But the captain and his guards were there to block them. Humph, think you can stop us? Steward Sun said with cruelty. The captain smiled and shook his head. No, but we can buy them some time for them to get away. He, with you dead, you still think they can escape. Taking one last look in their direction, the captain nodded. If it was before, perhaps no, but they have that boy. The guards nodded, with their trust in Zhuo Fan beginning to grow in their hearts. They might not know why Zhuo Fan was so bold all of a sudden, but with him next to the young miss and young master, their chances of survival were higher. Gnashing his teeth, Steward's son looked darkly beyond them. That brat dares to meddle in my affairs. Once I get my hands on him, I will flay him. I'll make him wish for death. The Steward Demonic Emperor, Chapter 6. Vile Servant Actually. Zhuo Fan carried Luo Yunhai in one hand, while the other pulled the tender arm of Luo Yunchang in his mad dash, leaving behind the cries and wails of the guards at their backs. Wait, we can't just leave them. Luo Yunchang recovered after a while and said anxiously. Zhuo Fan kept going without paying her any heed. Let go. Luo Yunchang saw him disobeying her and threw his hand off. Zhuo Fan stopped and stared her down. We need to go back. We can't let the guards throw their lives away for us. Can you beat them? Asked Zhuo Fan. Luo Yunchang sighed with a frown. The others are bad enough, but they have Steward's son, who is in the 6th layer of key condensation, while I am only in the 3rd layer, and the captain in the 4th. Even if we join forces, we are still no match for him. What's the point of returning then? Let's go. Zhuo Fan snorted and grabbed her again to dash. It was now that the child in his other hand squirmed. Stinky slave, how dare you talk back to your master? Apologize to my sister, and I won't let your butt blossom in pain. Zhuo Fan looked in a daze at the pup bearing his fangs in his arm, then looked at Luo Yunchang. The young miss was angry, recalling he was but a mere servant of the Luo clan. Only now did his disrespectful words sink in. But so what? He wasn't the real Zhuo Fan anyway. Moreover, they weren't exactly the same revered Luo clan either. Your family is on the brink of being exterminated, yet you have time to nitpick? If not for the heart demon, this majestic demonic emperor would have never even minded your trifling matters. Brat, think I won't make your butt blossom? Zhuo Fan stared at Luo Yunhai. You dare, slave? Luo Yunhai glared back without fear. He grew up in the manor and knew of the gap in their statuses. How could he ever come to fear a servant's threat? Such a pity the one before him wasn't the Luo clan servant. With a grin, Zhuo Fan bent him over his knee, pulled his pants down and slapped like no tomorrow. The sonorous slaps rang in their ears, striking Luo Yunhai and Luo Yunchang dumb. They never dreamed of this ever happening. A servant daring to slap a master's bum. To the point, even the bratty Luo Yunhai forgot about the pain. But he soon got a taste of the scorching sting on his rear. Impudent! Luo Yunchang cried in alarm, wrestling her brother from Zhuo Fan and into her embrace. Zhuo Fan, you dare raise your hand against your master. Luo Yunchang was known in the clan for her gentle nature and warm and refined demeanor, a girl from a wealthy family that never got angry. But Zhuo Fan's act took the cake and made the rage inside her burn like never before. Zhuo Fan avoided her eyes as he sneered, not as daring as young miss. To the point of wasting time berating others while the enemy is just around the corner. The noise behind them was getting weaker. Zhuo Fan and Luo Yunchang were clear. The guards couldn't hold on much longer. I only slapped him a few times, but if you do not run, those men will soon take his life. Zhuo Fan pointed at Luo Yunhai. Luo Yunchang was still angry, but Zhuo Fan's words struck close to home. Her brother was the only male left in the clan. She could sacrifice herself, but nothing must happen to him. After some thought, she became serious. Zhuo Fan, take the young master and leave while I stall them. I refuse, blurted Zhuo Fan. If you dare leave, I will kill this brat. You. She was at a loss for words. Never would she have imagined her clan would house such an arrogant and impudent servant that would dare threaten his master. I've lived in the Luo clan for all my life and do not know the surroundings. If you leave, the brat and I won't make it, Zhuo Fan continued. Luo Yunchang nodded in silence, her anger cooling. It made sense. But the next words flamed her anger to new heights, staring daggers at him. It won't mean much even if you die, but try not to take me down with you. You. Luo Yunchang turned green, but held it in. He ignored the pair and turned to walk. Is there any place nearby where we can hide? Snorting, Luo Yunchang glared at him while ignoring the insufferable servant. But she was a young miss after all, and even though her anger never waned, she still knew to look past it in this dangerous situation. There's only farmland around us for 100 miles, and the west face of the Blackwind Mountain is the only place that few people venture in. It is a forest covered in fog that not even the mountain bandits know in detail. Then, that's where we'll go. Zhuo Fan nodded. Carry your brother and lead the way. She snorted and walked forward without sparing him another look. Just how could she stumble upon such bad luck, where the two siblings were now accompanied by an arrogant and rotten slave? She was in front, and he was in the back. It was as if the master-servant roles were reversed. Never had the siblings suffered such humiliation. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss future videos.